Welcome to the AI for Career Success podcast by Curt Robbins, where we help you get smarter than your competition.
This is episode 155. I'm Daphne.
And I'm Fred. So today's discussion was actually suggested by our producer, Curt Robbins. We're looking at a guide called Perplexity at Work, a guide to getting more done.
Right, and it's a really practical framework for professionals who, feel kind of overwhelmed.
It really does, because I think for a lot of us, that big productivity jump from AI has sort of stalled. You're constantly switching apps. There's just so much information.
Exactly. And this guide presents AI not as some magic bullet, but as a framework. It's built on three really crucial stages for your career. First, block distractions.
Second, scale yourself.
And finally, get results.
It's an approach that, it fundamentally reframes work itself. We're going to unpack how you can use a unified AI platform, specifically Perplexity's tools like Comet and Labs, to really master these stages.
And we're starting with the most foundational one, just reclaiming your focus.
Okay, let's get into that first part, block distractions. The guide really emphasizes that the modern workplace is almost designed to break our focus.
Oh, absolutely. The research it cites is pretty shocking. We're interrupted, every 11 minutes on average?
Every 11 minutes. So the goal here with AI is to delegate all that administrative stuff, the routine tasks, so we can actually get back to, creativity and deep thinking.
And to do that, the platform introduces two key helpers inside its AI browser, which they call Comet. You have the assistant and the agent.
Let's start with the Comet Assistant. This is basically your helper for understanding and for reading. It lives in the sidebar for conversational help.
So it can summarize articles for you, or emails, or even Slack chats.
Yes, and it can check facts across multiple tabs you have open. It has this @tab feature. For example, you could prompt it to analyze this contract and highlight potential legal concerns.
That's a huge time saver. So if the assistant is the reader, then the Comet agent is the doer.
Right. This is the tool that handles those complex multi-step tasks that usually force you to switch apps. It can schedule meetings, manage subscriptions, fill out forms, that kind of thing.
And there's a pro tip in the guide for using it.
Right. They suggest you start your prompt with, take control of my browser, and to really activate its full capabilities.
I see. So you're giving it explicit permission to act.
Exactly. A great example is asking it to find all unanswered emails in the last 3 days that require a response and draft brief replies. Ignore calendar invites.
Wow. And, you can't talk about distractions without talking about the inbox. The average person checks their email every 12 minutes.
Don't forget the email assistant. It tackles that problem directly. It uses what it calls smart auto-labeling to categorize your emails into things like to respond or FYI.
And it also has voice match reply generation, so it actually learns your communication style.
It does. It learns how you write, so when it drafts those routine emails, it maintains your authentic voice, which is so important.
Okay, that makes sense. So you're not just blocking distractions, you're building a foundation.
Let's take a brief break for a special message from our producer, Curt Robbins.
Hi, this is Curt Robbins. First, thanks for listening. I truly appreciate your support. I want to let you know that I'm currently accepting new clients. My rates are affordable, and I have more than 25 years of experience working for enterprise companies like Microsoft, Northrop Grumman, Oracle, PNC Bank, FedEx, USAA, and Wells Fargo, among many others. If you want to improve your IT documentation and communications, hire me. I deliver fast, know how to use AI to improve efficiency and accuracy, and love going the extra mile to satisfy my clients. Thank you for subscribing and listening. Back to you, Daphne and Fred.
Welcome back to the AI for Career Success podcast.
All right, so once your focus is protected, we move to that next layer. Scale yourself.
This is where AI becomes a true force multiplier. The guide calls it turning you into a team of one, where you're capable of doing really deep research and creating high-quality work.
Yeah. The key here is totally transforming how you approach research. You stop treating AI like just a search engine.
Instead, you're using it to run deep web and file research, synthesizing hundreds of sources all at once.
This lets you do really high-level tasks, things like strategic planning or technology assessment.
Right. There's a prompt example in the guide that's just incredible. It's something like, evaluate quantum computing applications for financial services, including current capabilities, major vendors, implementation challenges.
Timeline for commercial viability and regulatory implications.
Oh.
The depth of that from one prompt is just staggering.
It is. But Fred, that brings up a huge barrier for professionals. How do you maintain your brand consistency when you're using AI? You don't want to sound generic.
A very fair question. The guide introduces something called Perplexity spaces. These are dedicated environments that you can customize.
How so?
You give them custom instructions, and you can upload sample materials, like your best client presentations or your company's style guide.
Oh, I see. So it ensures all the future content it generates maintains your established voice and your brand standards.
Exactly. It's no longer just a generic AI. It becomes your customized tool.
And this scaling isn't just about research, it's also about content creation, right? Using what they call labs.
Yes, Labs is like the creation studio that handles all the execution details. So instead of you spending hours formatting a presentation or a report,
You provide the strategy and Labs handles the delivery.
right down to generating images and video. A great example would be prompting it. Take my notes from our strategy session and create a board presentation covering Q3 performance, market challenges, and Q4 objectives.
And it would handle all the formatting, data visualizations, everything.
Everything, from brainstorm to board ready in minutes.
Which brings us to the final stage, and maybe the most important one. Get results.
Right. It's all about turning that enhanced capability into recognized, measurable outcomes that actually advance your career. You're moving from busy work to strategic outcomes.
And a really practical example they use is transforming the whole process of performance reviews.
Which everyone loves.
Of course.
Yeah.
But because Comet has been analyzing your work patterns, your project data, your calendar, it can identify trends and highlight actual quantifiable results.
So it's based on objective analysis, not just you trying to remember what you did 6 months ago.
Exactly. You could use a prompt like, analyze my performance data to identify unique strengths, differentiating capabilities, and competitive advantages that set me apart from peers.
Include specific examples and quantifiable evidence. And then Labs can generate a professional report based on that objective data.
It's about proving your value. And for roles like lead generation or business development, this is a game changer.
Absolutely. AI can just accelerate the entire pipeline. Labs can create a lead gen dashboard for you.
How would that work?
For instance, find 25 B2B SaaS companies that recently raised Series A funding and are hiring sales staff, then craft a personalized cold outreach email template.
Wow. So it takes you directly from research to action.
And allows sales professionals to bypass those coordination delays. They can directly create customized proposals or case studies to close deals faster. It just removes all the friction.
The ultimate goal really is to remove anything that prevents your unique perspective from creating valuable impact.
So Daphne, what really stands out to you from this guide is how it shifts your mindset, right? It's not about managing a bunch of scattered apps.
No, it's about thinking strategically about focus, then amplification, and finally, the outcome. It connects AI usage directly to your professional advancement.
By delegating all that repetitive, time-consuming work and then using AI to research and create at scale, you free yourself up.
You're free to pursue the really ambitious questions, the high-impact problems that are going to define a successful career.
Thank you for listening to the AI for Career Success podcast from Curt Robbins, where we help you get smarter than your competition.
Remember to like, subscribe, comment, and share. We'll see you next time.